Hello.
So,
Ma'am, this
yes,
is
Ankur.
Ankur.
Yes, Ankur.
Yeah, ma'am, just Daksh is going
Dean
to
sir is
join.
ready. I think we can
Yeah,
start now.
yeah,
Sir?
ma'am. Just,
Yes, sir.
ma'am,
We can
just a
start.
minute, ma'am.
Yeah, please go
Daksh
ahead.
is coming online.
Yeah. 1 minute, Daksh. I will allow him.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes. Lisa, ma'am.
A very good morning to all, and I welcome you all to today's webinar on how to plan for startup and its legal and ethical steps organized by the Department of IT as a part of IIC Institution Innovation Council. I welcome our Honorable Chairman, Dr. Shivakumar Sir, our Co-Chairman, Niranjan Sir, Director, Dr. Subhaya Bharati Sir, Dean ENT, Dr. Murli Krishna Sir, Dean IIE, Dr. Selvakumar Sir, Dean Academics, Dr. Saravanan Sir, Dean Research, Dr. B. Venkatachalapati Sir, VP Admin, Dr. J. Jagdishan Sir, VP Academics, Dr. Srinivas Sir, our IIC President, Dr. Udaya Kumar Sir, HOD Mechanical, our Vice President, Dr. Raja Sir, HOD CSC, and all the heads of the various departments, faculty members, and students. I welcome you all for today's session. I am pleased to introduce to you all the young entrepreneurs of SRM IST Ramapuram campus. Mr. Ravi Ranjan, the founder and CEO of Dobiji, who is a founder and who has various skills in business planning, entrepreneurship, marketing, and strong business development professional, who has acquired his BTech degree in CSE. I also welcome Daksh Sabharwal, who is a co-founder and chief marketing officer at Dobiji, who is also the mentor of Logic Play. He was responsible for the brand development, for graphic designing, marketing, social media marketing, copywriting, etc. I welcome you. I welcome Ankur Gupta, co-founder and chief operating officer at Dobiji, who is an entrepreneur and an engineer, who is also having his vast experience in the finance management, team management, and has strong business skills, and who has been responsible for the internal operations in the national and the regional level. I welcome all the three of you who are our alumni of SRM IST. A warm welcome. I now request our Dean ENT, Dr. Murli Krishna Sir, to deliver the presidential address.
Good morning to everybody present here. Am I audible, madam?
Sir, audible, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
A very good morning to everybody in the online. In fact, this today's topic, which are given by our alumni, Mr. Ravi Ranjan, Ankur Gupta, and Mr. Daksha. I felt very happy that see these three young people have been completed recently. 16 to 20 means not even 1 year, and they become entrepreneur in a particular area. How to plan a startup and its legal and ethics steps. They are going to deliver the lecture on this today's program, and I felt really wonder that see within actually short period of time, these three young people have been combined and have started a startup which is actually called Dobiji. You see how actually the people are getting such type of innovative ideas. The students have been again once again in the online, many students are there. I've been telling that you are the real entrepreneurs, you are the real technology people. You have excellent skills, and particularly in this going for this thing, these type of things. See, in fact, this is in a short period of time. I really surprised that you see actually they have been tied up with the US University of California, Uber, and our SRM IST KTR, and they have been almost, they started recruiting. I really wonder that my lot of appreciation to this young three dynamic the engineers of CSIT who has passed out in 2020, and they started a startup. They established a very good firm, and which is actually the turnover. And one more surprising, they are going to recruit their own, technical people for offering a CTC of 7 lakhs per year. So this is my hearty congratulations to the three team young, energetic, dynamic engineers. And this is a startup. You see, this we are talking about the Dobiji. You see in real time what are you are been day to day. You are noticing. You are seeing a Swiggy and Uber, Paytm, Byju's. These are all small startup companies are started like this only. In the beginning, their turnover was very, very less. You see actually how these startups, Byju's have been more than 3,500 crores turnover, and it has been stakeholders by even foreign investments have been invested in these particular firms. See, is a young engineer has started that. So that's what I felt very happy. This is a function which we are not the people are giving academic advice. A young team of engineers are going to give the advice. My sincere request to all my students, please see this actually, how they are going to give the lecture, and also they are going to give about their company details, functionalities, etc. You try to get into that. I'm not sure that everybody has to go for this one. At least you get some idea. See how the young people are just a year back, just there are maybe seniors or super seniors to you, but they developed in that way. You take in that direction. I'm sure that this particular session will be very, very successful. My hearty congratulations to all the three young dynamic students of SRM IST Ramapuram. Thank you one and all for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable address. Now I request the alumni students to take over the session.
Hello. I'm going to start with saying thank you for all the nice words that we have been told. And good morning, everyone. And okay, so one thing that I've been overwhelmed by all the kind of welcome that we've received and things like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about our life at SRM also. I'm going to talk about the startup, how it began, and everything that includes in the whole part. Okay, anyone who's confused, you can see that my video is on a different account and audio is a different account. And I was having trouble with my audios, so I decided to log in from a different account. So do one thing, just pin the video that you can see in front of you where you can see me speaking. Okay, just pin that video and we start the presentation in just a while. Okay, so I am Daksh Sabharwal and I'm going to begin the whole presentation for you guys. So anyone who is, see, the first thing I want to do is I don't want this to be a lecture. I don't want this to be a speech. I want this to be an interactive session. So first thing I want is 10 students at least to switch on their cameras and mics so I can at least talk to you guys. Okay, so can I get 10 students who can volunteer for switching on their cameras and switching on their mics at least? Once we have that, we're going to begin with it. Okay, and also all the respected faculties who are members of this meeting, of this session, I want you all you to give your opinion about all the questions, about all the issues, all the topics that I'm going to talk about. So I mean, I don't expect a lot of interaction from the students, but I expect the interaction from faculties at least, because your opinions matter the most.
Yeah, sure, Daksh.
Okay. So how many of you people, the students who are thinking about doing a startup, how many of you actually Googled how to start a startup? If you have, click on the raise hand button in front of you. Okay, I'm assuming anyone who's ever even thought of a startup idea, who's ever even come up with an idea like this can be a nice startup idea, has already Googled this term. If you haven't, I don't think this session is for you, because see, even if you're thinking about starting a startup, you have to have that inner hunger to start a startup. You don't want to work for someone else. You don't want to share your vision with someone else. You just have an idea in your mind and you want it to happen in your real life. If that is what you want, if that is a kind of genre you fall in, then the session is for you. If not, then I guess you will be a little bored at the end of the session. So just start with it, and if you are still interested in the session, keep watching. Okay. So one question that I have for all of you, and anyone who knows this answer can unmute yourself and tell me, who is the largest employer of India? This question is open to everyone in the whole meeting, and I'm waiting for an answer. Anyone? I'm not gonna begin the rest of the presentation unless I get an answer. So yeah. Who is the largest employer of India? If you are as smart as I think you guys are, you'll Google and tell me the answer, but I'm waiting for you. Okay, who gave the answer? Can you say your name, please? Guys, if you're too shy to switch on your mic, just put it in the chat. At least it will be an interaction set. Just put it in the chat. Who do you think is the largest employer of India? Aditya Gar says Tata. Okay. This shows that you are a BTech student and you know that TCS is going to hire you at the end. But no, Tata is not the largest employer of India. Try again. Someone else. Indian Railways, Tarun Khanna. Yeah. Okay. Afridi, Kescom. Okay, nice. Okay, I need at least 5 more answers and then I'm going to begin. Guys, I know you're too shy. I know you're too lazy to switch on the cameras and mics. Just put it in the chat. At least it'll be an interaction session through that. LIC, no, wrong answer. Defense, maybe not. Okay, yeah. Anyone from the respected faculty you want to try this question out? I guess you guys know the answer already, but just. Okay, I'm gonna wait for one more answer. Anyone who gives me one more answer, I'm gonna begin. SBI, no. The largest employer of India is inefficiency, because we as a nation of people, we are obsessed with inefficiency. Somewhere someone said that hard work is something that you should always do and things like that, and we have always preferred hard work over smart work, or anything that can save time, anything that can save energy is like a bad thing for us. If you're being lazy and you're doing something in an easy way, people in this country will look down on you. They'll be like, you're lazy. No, you're not lazy, you're smart. That is why you use less amount of energy for the same task. So I guess, if this is my opinion, the largest employer of our country is inefficiency. Okay, so let's talk about efficiency. Your BTech students, or even if you have a science background, you know that technical definition of efficiency. So we're just gonna wander around that. So efficiency just means that you put in less energy, you put in less resources, and you get more output. That's it. The best possible output with the least waste of time and effort. That's what efficiency is. And that's it. That's all we need to aim for. That's all we need to. That is the only goal we should have in any kind of target, any kind of aim that you have in your life. So let's take an example. And this might sound funny to you, and this might sound kind of unorthodox to you, but let's take an example. And this is the best example I have of the inefficiency of our country. Okay. How is sperm count taken in India? Does anyone any idea? Let me tell you. So the conventional way of sperm count in India is we take a sample, we put it in a microscope, and there is an actual human who takes a counter, looks at the number of units he can found, and clicks it and counts it. Don't you think this is the prime example of inefficiency? We're taking a microscope, one of the biggest inventions of mankind, and using it with a manual counter, a clicker counter. Here's the economic science background, or if you are a CS or anything, you know this is not cutting edge technology. You have a lot of technologies that you can just use to scan an image and count the units in it. And this is not something that no one else would have thought of. This is not something that you need resources for or anything like that. This is very simple thing that anyone could think of. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of you people who just saw this slide and think, what is so special about this? Even I can do this, right? But the difference is you didn't do it because you didn't know that there was a problem. You didn't know that you could solve this problem because you didn't know about the problem. And this is something that happens with every startup you see. You see Uber, how simple, a very simple concept. You need a cab, you book a cab, and a cab reaches you. Very simple concept. Even you could do it, even I could do it. But the difference is we didn't. Okay. So the whole AI introduction to the whole process, it increased the accuracy by 1.5x and also did 60,000 tests per day before this technology. Or even if a lot of pathology labs in our country are still using the conventional way, and they do 6 tests a day. So you know the difference. Just an introduction of a little AI, just image going through an AI. That's so simple, but someone thought of it and they executed it. That's the only difference. Okay, so the average age of successful entrepreneurs, not just in India, worldwide, is dropping. Can you think of the reason of that? I'm gonna give you exact 60 seconds, and anyone can put it in the chat. Why do you think the average age of successful entrepreneurs is dropping? Why are young entrepreneurs getting successful in the world? Again, I'm not going to move on to the next slide unless you give me answers. So go. And again, I know you guys are too lazy, too shy to switch on your cameras, to switch on your mic. So just put it in the chat. That's okay. That's fine. Okay, since I'm not getting any responses, I'm gonna give this question to all the respected faculties here. Anyone who wants to give your input or your opinion, why do you think that the average age is dropping for the successful entrepreneurs? Anyone who wants to come up? Lack of support. See, this is a good thing. No, the average age of successful entrepreneurs is dropping means that the younger entrepreneurs are getting successful. That's a good thing. You don't need to think of reasons that is bad. Just think why young people are getting successful. That's a good thing. Okay, I'm getting replies from Ankur. He's another panelist. I want someone from the audience to give me replies. I'm just gonna keep waiting. No one? Anyone senior or anyone? Yeah. They go through a problem and they start thinking of a solution using all the resources available to us. Yeah. See, you make sense. Okay, the average age is dropping because we hate inefficiency. I mean, and there's a reason for that. We have been born into the era of internet, we have been born into the era of startups, of apps and things like that. And they have been solving the problems of efficiency from ever. And we hate inefficiency because we have seen people solving a lot of problems, making them efficient by just introducing their product. So we as a whole generation hate inefficiency. That's the problem, right? Okay, so let's talk about it. Can you think of anything that used to be more efficient in the past than it is today? Think of any service, any goods, any technology that you use. I don't think you can name anything that used to be more efficient in the past than it is today. Can you think of anything like that? If you prove me wrong, I'm gonna make sure that you get a reward at the end. Can you think of anything that used to be sending a message used to be more efficient in the past than it is today? Avishal Pathak, do you mind switching on the camera? Just mic. And can we have a conversation on this? Yeah, it's okay. I'm not gonna scold you or anything like that. I'm just gonna have a conversation.
Be friendly in answering, okay? He is your senior and he will give more ideas for you.
Yeah, it's okay. See, don't consider me as a senior or as someone who knows more than you. I'm just here to have a conversation. Just talk to me. I thought the question is efficient right now. Okay. Okay, cool. So I think no one can think of anything because yeah, there is nothing. So by that theory, I came up with something that might be interesting, but that might not make sense. So just tell me if you think that doesn't make sense, if you think that there is something that I left out, so just let me know, okay? So that I don't present this to anyone else. You're the first people who are gonna see this, okay? So let's think of an efficiency scale, okay? Let's make, like, there used to be number lines in our school, right? Let's think of a scale like that. So there's a line, and on the left side there's past. All the technologies, all the goods that you've used till now is on the left side. On the right side is the future, the things that you have heard about, the things you have not heard about, things, whatever is waiting for you in the future is on the right side. And then in the middle is today. Okay, so this is a line of a timeline of the technologies, of the efficiency that we use, and this is how efficiency scales up. So today is the time, today is the state where we have the most efficient technology, most efficient good till now. Better things are going to come in future, but whatever we have in past is less efficient, right? It makes sense. I'm not saying anything wrong, right? Okay, so today is the most efficient state we have till now. Okay, so in the same thing, let's talk about 2 points. One is A, one is B. A is near yesterday, like the kind 1 year or 2 years ago, the technology we used, the goods we used, and the services we used till then. Okay, and B is a future point, but not something that we have not heard about. This is something that we know is coming. You know, like AI is going to come and change, disrupt the whole market, and a lot of things that we read about in magazines and things like that. Okay, so A is the point which is less efficient, B is more efficient. Anything that takes you from A to B, less efficient to more efficient. As simple as that. There is no maths in this. There is no rocket science in this. I personally hate maths, so I make sure that there is no maths involved in my lectures and my sessions. Okay, so so anything that takes you from A to B is your successful startup. So if you're gonna think of an idea, if you're gonna come up with an idea, it's as simple as that. Just think of something that can take the mankind from A to B. That's it. Anything that makes any less efficient process, anything that's the You can think you can make it more efficient or anything like that, just take it. That's your idea. If it falls in that area, if you think your idea, whatever your product is, whatever your service is, can take mankind from A to B, you have a successful startup in front of you. As simple as that. Okay, don't worry about whether it will work or not. It might not. But if it falls in that criteria, this means that you're on the right path. Okay, so if you become the lead from A to B, you create three things. Very simple three things, but if you are able to do that, I can personally guarantee that you're gonna have a great future in this. Okay. So first thing, irreversible behavior. When you create something that takes the process from less efficient to more efficient, you create irreversible behavior. How many of you have recharged their SIM cards or recharged their phones by going to an actual shop and giving them money and getting your phone recharged after using Paytm, after using free charge? I'm pretty sure no one, because it is an irreversible behavior. Do you remember when these companies just started coming, they gave you a lot of offers, they gave you cashbacks, they gave you a lot of stuff, and they don't really give you that now. Why? Because they know that your behavior is irreversible. You're not going to go back to the shop. You're not going to travel to another area of your city and get your phone recharged, because it is an irreversible behavior. You love recharging your phone by your home, on your bed. You don't want to leave. This is number one. Number two is high tolerance. Even though Paytm service crashed, even though whatever happens, biggest example is IIC. I mean, even if your website lags for an hour or so, you're not going to go to the railway station. You're not going to go to the platform and get your tickets. You're going to wait for 1 hour. You're going to wait for it to get on hand and then buy your tickets. This is high tolerance for the product, because there is a leap from less efficiency to greater efficiency. Third is customer endorsement. What do I mean by customer endorsement? Okay, imagine you see someone recharging their SIM on a shop. What are you going to say to them? You're going to tap on their shoulder and it's like, dude, this is 2021. You're still recharging your phone from this. You're bragging of something that you don't even own. You just use that service, but you're bragging it as if it's your own service. Why? Because there is a leap from A to B. As simple as that. Biggest example, if you see someone washing their own clothes, tell them, this is 2021, just poke dhobi ji pika. Just an example. Okay, coming to the dhobi ji, now I'm going to talk about how we got the whole idea of the start. Okay, and you think whether we fall in the criteria of A to B, whether we don't, what was the process, and you're going to understand a lot of steps about startups through this whole story. Okay, so we're going to start with a scenario where Ankur was studying his college test. This is how we came up with the whole idea. So I'm going to make sure that you understand all the processes very nicely. So he suddenly remembered that he didn't have clean clothes for the next day. He was studying and he didn't realize that he has to get ready the next day. So at the middle of the night, he realized that he didn't have clothes for the next day. So he started washing his clothes himself. And anyone who's lived in a boys' hostel knows that if you start washing your clothes in the hostel washroom, this is a very long process. Okay. So, but during that whole process, during the exertion and everything, he fell sick and he could not give the exam next day. Ravi was his roommate, and he saw this and he was surprised. He was shocked. Like for such a mundane task of cleaning clothes, he could not give a whole exam. So this was something that disturbed him. But when Ravi and Ankur looked around, they found out that this was not a specific one-person problem. Everyone was facing that problem in the whole hostel, in the whole college, and they thought about doing something about it. So they started looking for a solution. They started looking for laundromats nearby, and but they all found a very pattern of a problem. The customers were looking for a nice laundry option. The laundromats were looking for customers, but there was no one to make them meet each other. That's when Ravi and Ankur decided that if there is no solution, we're going to create a solution. So they started looking for people to form their first team. But they couldn't find anyone who could help them in spreading the idea. They couldn't find anyone who was, who had the same kind of passion, who had the same kind of zest after listening to the idea. They were like, yeah, we'll think about it and things like that. That's when they found me. When Ravi told me the idea, I was instantly on board with it. Okay, side note, personally, I hate washing clothes. That is the biggest reason why I'm a part of this company. I personally hate washing clothes. I don't know, I just don't like it. I have no reasoning, I have no logic, I just don't like it. Okay, so with me, we created the first web campaign, we created an offline campaign, print campaign, and then within 3 minutes of opening our orders, we got 200 plus orders. This proved us two things. One is that everyone needs a solution for this problem. Second, this problem is very vast. This is not just a floor level or a hostel level or anything. Everyone needs a solution of this problem because they're all having this problem. So we were pretty sure that, this might be the solution people are looking for. Today, Ravi Ranjan is now the CEO of OPG, and Ankur is the CFO, and I am the Chief Marketing Officer. So this is how we started, and you get a story. Now you can get an idea of how a startup is started. What are the things that you need to do? You need to find a meeting. You just need to find a team who is passionate, equally passionate for the idea as you are. That's it. You don't look for skills. You don't look for the talents the person has. Don't worry about it. Talent, skills, they can all be acquired. But passion or the love for your idea, that is something that you cannot incorporate. That cannot be exported or outsourced by a human. If you think the idea is nice, the skills can be acquired. That is something that you're living in 2021. Skills can be acquired from anywhere. You just need to have a feeling that you want to work in this. So this is one advice that I give to everyone who's just starting their startup and looking for a team. Don't look for talented people. Don't look for skillful people. Just look for people who are passionate, equally passionate for your startup. That's it. And with that, I end my part of the whole session, and I'm gonna give the whole presentation to Ankur now, and he's gonna tell you more about the legal part of it. What are the things that you need to do with operations and everything that you need to make sure before you start a full-fledged startup. That's it. Thank you, guys.
Hello everyone, good morning. I would like to thank the Dean Sir of SRM, to the various HODs present over here, and also to the different teachers who have helped to organize this session today. Also, very good morning to all the students who are present here. And I, Ankur Gupta, handling the operations of OBG, would like to put light over the session of legalities, which is involved during the startup phase. So I would not be stating the points which are redundant in the society. And before starting, I would like to say that I would like to converse one-on-one. So you can switch to my window, and you can see my video while I give this session. So I would not be stating the points which are redundant in the society about the partnerships, about the business or the legal work which you are going to do. Okay, or the startup which you are going to do is legal or not. The startup is basically an idea which solves a problem for the society, for you, for everyone. Okay, so I would be discussing about the startup idea and how you can implement it in a correct way. Also, I would be stating these points here because the world is full of laws and motions which govern over a full speed business. Luckily, these startups don't come in this category because startup is yet in the process to become a successful business. Until and unless all the factors are good, until and unless the way you're doing the work is perfect, it doesn't become a business. Okay, startup is mutually growing, and the startup is the hard work which you're doing to solve a problem for that particular area. So of course, a detailed study of the idea which you're going to do in the starting would tell you the thing which you're doing is wrong or right. It just needs to explore in that particular field. If you're going to sell different things which are not allowed in an area, you're going to do something which is illegal. So it is as simple as that. And if you are doing anything which is wrong in the eyes of you, would always be wrong which is going to be in the society, even if it is just going to be 0.001%, still it would be wrong. So the support, the trust which you get inside yourself would be the outmost force which is going to help you during these startup. So you need to figure out that the motive should be positive and it should solve a problem. It's a way in which you are going to do the work, or it may be happening in different parts of this of the world, but you need to innovate it. Okay, the motive should be positive. So, and again, there are laws made to control the illegal activities, but a startup in itself is a new strategy to implement an idea, basically. So, when you are implementing anything new on a very small level, on the very initial stage, you really don't need to worry about the legalities, because that is the phase which you are learning. And until and unless you are learning how you are going to set the definitions for that particular word, so it becomes utmost importance that you strategize your work and like implement that idea to know more in that particular field. So so it may be so that it may can come under the rule of legalities on the very initial level. I agree to it, but the thing is that still you need to work on it, and still you need to see what is the outcome which is going to come. So again, I would like to make you understand that the startup is not a full working proof of business that you roll into the world, but it is the very initial stage and the very initial idea which you need to culture. So this process of culture has different stages, and these different stages are very crucial for you to grow. And during these stages, you yourself will be finding out what all you need to do in order to build the checkpoints which are going to govern your startup and which are going to make you legal in your eyes as well as the eyes of the people who are going to use it. So so no way of a business is illegal from my side, but all the business is purely business, if you see. So the thing which makes it legal is the way in which it is done. Okay, all the business is purely business at the end of the day. So you need to understand the laws of the area and the governing body of that area. Same way, a startup is a solution to a problem, which is done in a way which do not overrule the laws of basic humanity. Now, these rules of basic humanity is the thing which you are going to solve. Okay, you are going to make things simpler. You are going to make things fast. You are going to make things easy in the coming time. That is how you're going to do. And while you are doing this, you need to see and look into yourself and look into the surrounding and ask your friends, your relatives, your family, your teachers about it. Like many times people are shy that if I'm going to ask about my startup, they're gonna know my idea and they're gonna steal it. See, they if even if they know about your idea, they won't be having the amount of passion if you're having. Okay, so it is always better to discuss your idea so that it becomes so that even if you get criticism, criticism is good. That is only going to solve more problems for you, and the more problems you're solving, the your startup is going to grow as much. So it is to be checked that your startup idea solves a problem. It does not bypass any law which is made to prevent that activity. For example, if there is a particular way of selling anything and you're going to bypass it and you're going to cut the middle operators from between, of course, it is going to create a big problem for you. So you need to make things you need to solve things, and you do not need to make it complicated at the same time. So let's first understand the meaning of being legal or illegal. To one person it may be legal, and to the other person it may be illegal. So it is basically the state of mind at that particular moment, or it is basically the state of your idea at that particular moment in the way which you're thinking is different, and it creates opportunities for more ways to increase your idea. So basically, in short, it is like the top for that moment. So for me, it can be legal, but for you, it can be illegal. So the thing is that with the changing time, with the future coming to the 21st century, we need to mend the ways. We need to think in a very different way so that we can come on the same level while you're going to start a business. So, so now you might have figured out that your work towards the society should be positive. The next thing which comes to legalities are the team, because the team which you are going to work with should be really ethical. Okay, so the loophole in your, and you also need to check over the loopholes in your business, because it becomes your sole responsibility to hire the best people who are ethical. Now, this is really important for the legalities, because if the people you're working with are not ethical, it is really going to like be bad for your business, and it is not going to generate positive responses for your business, and not for the business, but I would try to say for the startup, because if you are getting criticism about bad services in the very starting, you will be lacking the trust. Okay, so that is why, and then the ethical things are really important in the startup, because that is going to tell you a particular right way in which you should follow the path. So this means that they do not exploit your idea. I mean, the people you are having, they should not exploit your idea. They should not use it for any particular like own interest. Okay, so your team should be able to solve the problem of that moment and should not exploit it in their own interest. Now, this own interest is getting any personal gain for themselves using your idea, because many times this happens in the organizations that at the very early stage they are not able to figure out what that particular data will be used for, because if you are getting a lot of amount of data which you are handling, and if that data gets missing, if that data gets lost, so basically your idea wasn't illegal, but the way your team used it, the way your particular person used it is illegal. That is why it becomes really important for you to to take over the ethical team and to look for the ethical way to do that particular business. Okay. So, for example, I would like to state this with an example that when Swiggy provided with the money return policy, the money refund policy, most of the people would book the food under the spillage or the burnt category. Even I did it, okay? And you might have also done it. So, in order to get the refunds, uh, what happened is that people used to exploit that business. This happened for quite some time, and it started to drain a lot of investment for the company. Now, here is the thing which you should learn from it. My question is, did the company do anything wrong? Please, guys, please reply in the chat. Uh, Different panelists, please you can reply. Did the company do anything wrong in providing refunds, or in doing anything for the sake of people, for the sake of their customers, providing refund back for the bad food? I want some replies regarding this. Do you think was that wrong? Please write in the chat, or you can even like speak up. Okay, Ravi is saying no. Thanks, Ravi. Okay. Anyone? You can speak up, turn on your microphone, or you can just reply in the chat if you're too shy. Okay, Daksh is saying no, and I think we work together, so we're going to agree on this. But I need to listen from different people. There are like 82 other people who are present. No. Okay, Maitri. Okay, Maitri is saying no because it is a way to attract people. Uh, See, this is not about attracting people or something like that, but it is going to provide you more convenience. They are working to provide you more convenience. I don't think they're going to attract you by this. Okay, so, okay. So did the company do anything wrong in order to provide more convenience to the customer? No. I seriously think no. So this time the illegal activity was done by the customers who were using the app. So we need to learn from this incident that illegal activities can be done against you using your resources. So it is your utmost responsibility to control the process. This can be done by using checkpoints and various other methods to control different levels of operations. Yeah. So the thing is that world is full of people who really want to exploit yourself, who are going to bring you down, who want to steal your idea. I'm not saying everyone is like that, but still, even if it is 1% or if it is 0.1%, that is a lot of numbers. And I don't think uh, there is less amount of people in India. I don't think. Even if you take 1% of it, you are going to ruin your business. So yeah, checkpoints note the slightest change and can be used to govern the nature of activity. So it is always important for you to put checkpoints. As soon as you are putting checkpoints, the number of checkpoints you're putting, it is going to decrease the number of illegal things which can happen at different stages in your startup. Seriously, this is how you're going to check about the legalities in the operations. So I would like to take an example of us only because I would like to share an example that once what happened was there was a laundry in the very initial stages while we were growing that used to take the clothes for washing at kg basis. That is, they used to measure the clothes for kg and they used to charge it for washing. So what was happening at that time was there was the weighing machine at the hub. So the pickup was done from the home, and the clothes used to reach the hub where the washing is done or that particular laundry. And he used to measure it, and he used to send the weights to the people, and he used to charge it according to those weights. Okay. So our team was doing some, you can say, checks to check like whether that particular laundry is working fine or not, or whether it is going to do the work in the various in that particular process in which it should be done. Okay, so we found out that that particular laundry was taking more, was putting more weights than actual it was there, and he was going to cheat the people. So what we came out with the solution with it that we were providing portable measuring units. They were they were very small, like you can say the size of half of my palm, and it used to have small hooks in the end. Okay, so while the pickup was done by the people, it can be measured directly at their own place. So this was basically done later on when while we find out that there was something happening like this. Okay, so so later we decided to give a measuring instrument which was portable and it solved the problem for that particular hour. So the question, so I would like to ask a question that is your company extracting more value from the community than it is providing? You need to ask this question that is your company providing more value to the customers than it is extracting from that society? Because until and unless you are asking this question, until and unless you're working on this question, you're not going to become efficient, you're not going to become legal. While you're doing a business, while you're doing a startup, the legal thing is to become efficient. Always it is legal to become an efficient. If you are doing a work in an inefficient way, that is also illegal in the terms of this. So there are many things which makes things illegal, or not only about the you can say partnerships or getting a company registered. These things are just trash while you're doing a startup. So I'm not going to tell you about the laws of the company because they're already present on the internet. They're already present with a CA. They are already present to a lawyer. So you can go, you can ask them, you can discuss about it, and it is really easy for them to reply to you. And they are not going to Okay, so they are not going to like eat you up in the very initial stage. They might be interested, they might be giving you up with more points. Okay, so I just want to break your outer covering so that you could all come out from the comfort zone. And this coming out from the comfort zone is really very important for everyone because well, while you are working in a comfort zone, you're not going to take risks. So, and until and unless you are going to take risks, you are going to do something which is on the verge of legal, but still sorry, it's something which is verge of illegal, but still it's legal. Risks are always there is a very minor line, there is a very minor gap while you step into the illegal zone or while you are in the legal zone. So you need to figure this out with your teammates, with your co-workers, your co-founders, uh, and you need to like think in an ethical way. You have to learn to adapt to celebrate the diversity of thoughts when you don't agree with someone. So when you're going to have a team, definitely they will be having the diversity in the thoughts, and it is going to become really important to appreciate it, to celebrate it, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to do something positive for the business. They do not want because they are associated with it. So yeah, that's how things work. So you should force yourself, and you should force your team to take position or take a stand, because it then forces people to think deeply, to think about this, and to think about ideas. Constant force is really important for acceleration and to take risk. Until and unless you are having a immense amount of force which is going to drive you, you're not going to take risks. And if you're not going to take risks, you're not going to even go on the verge of legal or illegal. So it comes with that, it's complementary. So I want you to set up high standards for yourselves and to challenge others, to challenge different businesses who are already in the same field. And by challenging them, what you're going to do is you're going to force your startup, you're going to force the amount of work which you're going to do for that particular instant will be done in a very different way. They are established. You are still in a very initial stage, but still you're struggling to work hard. That is all that matters. And during this process, uh, this process would change your priorities, but you need to keep doing the thing which is correct. Of course, if you think that the process which you are going to do, the thing which you are going to do is correct, it is going to be correct, and your mindset should be positive, because all the things which you are having is there in the mind, but then you need to think about it. You need to do some deep conversations, and you need to figure out the ways. There are illegal ways. Even people are using different ways to sell drugs, but it is not a correct thing to do. That is a very different topic, which I would not like to introduce right now. But the thing is that it is again a business. Okay, so I just want to rest your point at the very end, which is always you can ask a question that is your company extracting more values from the community than it is going to provide. Once you're going to ask this thing, you are going to work on a very different stage. And that's all from the operations side, I would like to say, for the legalities of the business. So, like I just wanted to open up that egg, and I just wanted to break that egg and bring it to you that not only the business things, the partnerships are there, but also legalities or illegalities are there into the thoughts and how you are going to work, and even in the slightest people who are going to work in your organization. So, okay, I hope you all have a good day. And next, Ravi will be coming up to discuss about the. So he'll be coming up and he'll be telling. So thank you for listening to my views. It was nice.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. Am I audible to you? Please confirm the audio and video and PPT. Everything. Anyone, can you please confirm me whether you are able to listen to me, able to see me? No confirmation. Well, are you still awake? Okay. Matri,
Yes,
I
Ravi
think,
Ranjan.
yeah, no, I'm just trying to understand. Matri is replying, and what about others? Like, was it so boring that you are sleeping now? That's why you are not responding. Is there anything like that? Okay, so like before proceeding, now everybody has told me you what like what to do, what not to do, how they have started their journey, how this Dobiji was started, what about why the startup is there, and everything. But nobody has told you what is startup. So, uh, first of all, like how to register your startup. This is the most important thing. Like if you have a idea of starting up, you'll ask like, should I go and register on the first day? There are many questions related to registering a startup. Like many people have different ideas and they think I don't know what to do, how to proceed with the things and all. So what will be the legalities if I come to the official rules, government rules and all. So this is what I'm going to cover you more but at the same time this is what is going to be covered by me. So is there anyone who is wondering like, I have an idea, I want to register it, I don't know how to do it? If any one of you are there, then this is going to be the most helpful session for you. Even if you do not have idea right now, but you can have idea later if you have an entrepreneurial mindset. This is going to the most important part of the startup, like legalities. But before going to that, this is the most important thing which I would like to tell you. The most important part is this. Okay. So this is going to be the most important part. Do not go for registrations until you start earning. Like, do not go for the complete registrations. Whether you are not sure whether this product is going to be taken by the market or not. Whether you are not sure, so do not go for all this step until and unless you think that I can earn and you have some potential clients. You have made some money. Selling to one or two customers is never a wrong thing. There is nothing illegal in that. Make sure that you are doing some legal things which are not into the illegalities. So if you are doing that and you are earning, so then this moment comes. Like at least you should have a one or two paying customer before going to have this. At least I am talking about. So once you have this, then let's move forward. Before registering a startup, we must know what is a startup. Can anyone answer? This is the basic question which I think everybody should know. We are into session of entrepreneurship where we are talking about the legalities and everything, how the startup started and everything. What is a startup according to you? This question has two aspects. One is the legal aspect, what government think is a startup, and second is the people we like us, the normal social things, like what is a startup, society thinks what is a startup. So what you think what is a startup, you can unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself and tell me. Guys, anyone come voluntarily, otherwise I'll call out the name. You have to tell that time. I'm not going to leave like Daksh and everyone. So I can call out the name from the list and you have to unmute yourself and tell your view. I'm not saying you should tell it's right or wrong. startup definition of startup varies from people to people. So there is nothing right or wrong according to me in the definition of a startup. So now I think when I said I'll find out the list, people started leaving. That's good. Okay, leave it. So anyone please come up and say, only one person at least I need from you guys. Matri would like to give a try.
When we have an idea and we try to put it into action
Yeah, one of
and
the
try to earn
yes.
money as well from it.
Yes, if you have told the social definition of a startup. So what is a startup? Is you have a problem, you find a solution, and you sell that solution and earn money out of that. It's that simple as. This is a startup. Nothing extra, nothing less. Now you have started up. So once you start up, that this is what is like. Maitri has said me like you have an idea. Idea should, if you are focusing on a startup, I will say that idea must be a solution problem which we are facing. Then you don't need to find out much customer. You don't need to create the need. Already people is in need of that. They are facing the problem. You just come and place one solution for that. Like what we did in Dhobiji, Daksh has told you. In our time in hostel, there was no laundry service available. Now you guys have laundry service available in the hostels. That's good. But in our time when we have joined the hostel for first year, there was no laundry service. And we have seen that there are many people who are facing same problem. So that is the problem statement. So every startup have a problem statement. They come up with a solution like we did in like we found Dobiji as a solution who can make a common platform for the customer as well as for the laundry. So this is what it happens. So everywhere, and later on we started earning money out of that. Sorry. Yeah. So this is what startup is according to the society and each one of us. But what do you think? What is according to the government definition? What they define as a startup? They will not say that every have. So according to the business, see now if you are really interested in a startup, I'll like suggest you to take a note of this, or maybe on laptop or on a pen and paper. This is going to be a useful things for a longer period. So take a note of this. So according to the startup, what is a startup? According to the government, a company or a firm which has started and have less than 100 crore revenue and is less than 10-year old. Once you are cross the 100 crore revenue, or you get like you are 10-year old, then from that moment you are not a startup, you are a company. So any of these things is called a startup according to the government. So you are eligible in the Startup India movement or different things. There are many benefits, I'll tell you later. But if you are looking for this, that makes sure that you are less than 10-year old and have revenue less than 100 crore. And the most important part is, that's why I said do not move for registrations until you start earning, because this is going to like have your 10-year advance. Like this is a, you can say you can save your 10-year. Like if you are making a product and you have already registered your startup, so this is going to be counted into the 10-year. But if you are making a product and you do not register a startup until you are out in the market or you are making money out of that, then you have not registered it. This is not being counted in 10 years. So this is what one of the reason why I said until you start earning, do not go for registration. Okay, so this is what, as I said, how to register your startup. Now I'll tell you in like step by step basis. First thing, incorporate your business. This is the official registration of the government, official registration of the company, your company, to the government. Like you are going to get certificates and permission for getting this. And this is called incorporation. So registering your business, first step is registering with the government. So this is incorporation. Once you incorporate your company, so how to incorporate your company? There will be a question for that. So I'll cover that. Remember this step, and this is going to be explained later. So make sure you remember this. Step 2 is register with the Startup India. As I said, like the government have a definition for a startup. This Startup India movement was started by the Modi government in 2014, I guess. And from that time, they have started providing incentive and different benefits to the startup to make the ecosystem better for the entrepreneurs who can come up and find some solution and work on that. In this, you get tax reliefs and different GST reliefs and different things. There are multiple of benefits available. So you need to register with the Startup India. So before registering into this portal, there is a portal for this Startup India. Before registering to this, you need to register your company. You should have a company registration number. Once you have that, then you can come to the Startup India portal and register there that I am a startup and this is our proof of founding, and then they will give you the things. Okay, this DPIIT recognition, this is like industrial recognition, the Department of Industry, if I say in short. So if you are a person who is going to be, your startup is going to be related to manufacturing or many things, so then this is mandatory things. If you are going to put any industry, you need to get this recognition to open up a factory or anything. So this is one of the steps if you are looking for a hardware related product or something. But if you are looking for service based, this is not most mandatory things for you. Like Dobiji do not have this requirement, but now we have got it. In the starting, we didn't got it. This was not the mandatory step required by the government. So, but make sure that if you are going to have an industry or anything, if you are looking for that, this is the most important part before setting up the industry. Otherwise, there can be a legal case for you, and based on that, if you have not got this permission. Okay, so next thing comes the recognition of applications. So you have to find out the applications and you have to find out what are the things you need to apply for. There are many applications with the different legal. If you are going to make something where environment clarification is needed or anything, make sure that you follow all this steps. If you are using, if your company is based on the bank of a river, so you need to get that permission also. Everything should have a process based on your startup and things. These applications can change. So this is what is the most important part. Again, every step is important in this process, if you ask me honestly. So you need to recognize your application process. You need to find out the very first step was incorporation. That was just a proof that you have launched a company. But to operate this, you need to go through the step 3rd and 4th. Depending on the field you have selected, this is going to vary for you. And the step 5, document to be uploaded for the stations. See, document which is needed to be uploaded for the registrations is most important is your PAN card, your DIN, Director Identification Number will be there, your digital signature should be there. These are the basic, and for more details, I would say instead of going yourself directly for the registration process, contact a CA or a legal person who can help you out with this one. If you are going to focus on this, then who is going to focus on the product side or operation side? So if you are an operation-based company where you are providing a service, focus on that, and you can outsource this to a CA or any other firm. They are going to take care of these things. But you must know these steps should be followed. So these steps are mandatory and should be followed. So make sure that your CA is following these steps and they give you all the required permissions. And once you upload this document into the Startup India portal, like all the government permissions, incorporation certificate and everything, once you upload into the Startup India portal, you get a recognition number. That is your startup recognition number. So once you register a company, you registered a company, but you need to show that this is a startup in the paper of government, in the list of government database. To get that, this is your number from which any people can search and find out, yes, this is a startup and this is the turnover. This will be your identity number of your startup in the portal of government portal. So you'll be getting it at the same moment you upload all the document. But once you will also be getting a certificate. So that certificate will be given to you in 1 week, 2 weeks, depends on the time. So, you will be given that. But the most important part is the recognition number. You will be getting that immediately. Now, other areas. If you are making something unique, then make sure that you get it patented, even before registering a company. And if your product brand name, trademark. So, like our team is very conscious about the brand. So the brand name is the most important thing which is going to make your presence. This is your identity. Like my name is Ravi. Every people recognize me with the Ravi. But there are many Ravi. If someone tells to anyone, hey, have you met Ravi? He's going to ask which Ravi and where from he is from or anything. Any other extra description is needed, or maybe people will tell the person in front of him, do you know Ravi, founder of Dobiji? So a CEO of Dobiji. So they need to give an extra description to find out me and distinguish me from the crowd. But your brand should not have this option. They should not distinguish, there should not be any extra description needed to distinguish you. So to do that, make sure that your brand name is completely unique. And if your brand name is unique, make sure that nobody else can copy the brand name. To save that, you get a trademark registrations. So this takes some time, a longer time. There is a unique name for each trademark. Even the name resembling with the older one will not be provided to you. If it is provided, if someone applies for the similar name or which resembles your name, then what will happen that the trademark authority will give you an email. They will send the old registered person that a new person is there who want to register a brand which is very similar to your name. Do you have any if you say, do you have any, do you want to allow him to register it or no? You don't want to allow him? So this is what going to happen. If you keep your name unique, and again the unique, that doesn't mean that anything unique. If possible, keep your name related to your field. The nomenclature is very important part in any business. Keep your name. Maybe sometimes people prefer different things to do that. There are many things to be considered while keeping your name, but make sure you keep your name. Now I'll tell you the story why I'm saying you the patent and trademark, and this is important because what happened with us when we planned to start the startup. So there was 4 or 5 people in the first time joined us. Me and Ankur were the first 2 people. We discussed the idea. We decided that yes, we are going to solve this. And once we have done this, we try to look out for the people, make a perfect team. So now here comes the team also. The team should have a multiple people with the multiple skills. You should not have all the team with the same mindset. Make sure that you have different mindset in your team, so that you get the different idea, different aspect of the any thought or any process. Like for us, uh, me, Ankur and Daksh, we three have complete different mindset. But there should be understanding in the team. But for us, we are completely different. If any idea is there, we all have different thought on that. And we go through a proper discussion for that. So this gives us a wide angle view of all the ideas or thought. So your team should have a 360-degree talent. I call it 360-degree talent, which means there should be one person who should also focus on the negative side of the decision which you are going to take. What wrong can happen with that decision? And there should be a person who should always look for the positive side of that decision. So this is going to be like most important and crucial part. So make sure that you find a property. And going through this process, what happened? We
Hello.
got one
Hello.
person.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. 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 Am I audible?
Yes, Ravi Ranjan. You can continue.
Okay. So the important part, what I was there, like going through this process to find a good teammate, we gave an opportunity to everyone who was interested to work with us. So there was around 10 people who were interested to work with us, but after 1 or 2 meetings, they said no, they cannot do this. So they left it. And this is the story of first year I'm telling. So, but we got one person who was really interested. I'll not take out his name, but he was really interested. He was into the technical fields. So we wanted some people who can develop the technical aspect of our business and like put the website and all the things. So he was that person. So like when it was my first experience, what I did, I asked him to take care completely of technical fields. So he registered a website. What he did, he made the website and everything. And we were planning to launch by a different date and with a different price segment. All of the sudden, all this happened when we were ready to go to the market, and we were not registered at that moment on the first before going to the market. So we were not registered. Our trademark was not registered, and there was nothing registered. Neither our logo was registered. Nothing. So all was let's try, and if it works, we'll go for the registration process. So it was into that movement. And the person who was handling technical, I don't know what happened to his thought process or what he did the day before launch, 2 days before the launch of our startup, he started taking orders on his behalf and started giving to laundries, which was in talk with us, and he didn't inform those people that he is trying to make a different company, and he started taking orders, and we were not aware of these things for 2 days. So the service was started, and we were not aware, and everything was well. Like I was focusing on making different things, tying up with the laundry and different process and different. What he did, he knew that there is a laundry which is ready to work with us. So he went and he started giving clothes to him. And later on he came and he said, I do not want to work with you guys. I have my own startup and this is what my idea is. The same idea which I proposed. And this happened in the first year when we were all in hostel. But what happened? Anyhow, I was able to get to the access of website and even the things. But what he did, he deleted all the website. But the domain name, which was the important part at that moment, that was the only thing you can say was our identity. If that could have been overtaken by him, then this name, Dhobiji, you see today, should not have been our name. You could have planned for something different or something different. So that moment, the legal name which we were having was domain. Even if he put the same name, he'll not get a website of that name because we have already purchased it. So if you tell me in today's world, the first registration of any name or brand is the getting a website of the brand name. Once you book that, other people will think a while before registering your brand. Because he is not going to get the domain name of that name. So domain name is the important. So he will not think of that until unless he is behind you and he want to harm you, that he should not allow you to get the business registered until and unless you have an enemy, I say. If he is a business competitor or he is a self-motivated people who has taken your idea and trying to start up, he'll not use your name because he knows that he is not going to earn anything out of that because there is no website available on his name. So the first step of taking any business name as your brand is registering the business name, registering the website on that business name. And yeah, while naming also you must find out whether the website is available or not. There are many names which is not present in the trademark list and you can get it registered, but if you come and find the website, you will not find any website available on that name. Already some people has bought it. So the first step before getting all this trademark, patent and everything is getting registered your website. And once you register your website, make the logo. Logo is the most identifiable things you can say. As I said, my name is Ravi. This is my name. And there should be a name of business. But logo, my face is my logo. If you see my face, you can recognize you. I don't need to tell you that this is Ravi, founder of Dobiji. If you have ever seen me once. Similarly, logo is something, if person through that process, okay, inform the audio, like there was some issue. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, I was telling that logo is the thing which is important. If a person has gone through your name and logo should be something which should be memorable. Once he see a second time in his life, he can recognize, oh, this is the logo of that company. So now if you see the logo of Uber, you know this is Uber. If you only see the logo, you don't need to see the name, that Uber. Similarly, Zomato. Now the people have started keeping the name as a logo. There was, even in the past, this is the history. But one should have a history. Similarly, if you see Dhobiji, our Dhobiji is completely the logo. And if you see a small logo is DG. So if you see in your life anywhere DG logo, you will be able to identify this is Dhobiji. So logo should be like that, simple and memorable, which can be correlatable with your brand. So this was the logo. If you have these all things ready, get it trademark and design registration in the trademark portal itself. And if you are working on a product, make sure that before getting it out and giving it details to the different person, get it patented. And I know, like when we were in about third year, and the SRM have also started supporting to get the patent done. If I am not wrong, ma'am, can you please confirm? Anyone from the department, can you please confirm that whether we are supporting a student to get the patent done if they find something interesting? Hello.
Yes, Ravi Ranjan.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was asking that,
Hmm.
when I was in third year, there was an initiative taken by the SRM that if some people is having really nice idea and he is ready to make some product out of that, SRM helps in getting it patented.
Yeah. Still, we have that support from Dean R&D.
Yes.
R&D is
So
supporting that.
yeah, that's really good. Like if you have an idea, get in contact with Dean R&D sir, like Dean sir of R&D department. And I have met him. He's really good person. He have a lot of contact in different places, and he is going to support you. And if you are getting a support from the college, and sometimes you do not even need to pay any amount to the college, depending on your idea. If your idea is really interesting, college is going to pay on your behalf, as per my information when I was in the college.
Yes, still
Just
we
get
have that from the student side or even staff side. You have a good idea means they are doing the patent filing with the free of cost from the college.
yes. So this is the important part. Before registering your startup as a company, register your trademark, get the product patent done, and design registration. All these are the important thing. You can change company name anytime, but the brand name and the product should not be taken by anyone. This is what mistake we have done. We have not registered before, but you should not do this. Do not think about the company registration as a first step. So now if you see Dhobiji is a product, but if you see our company name is the Syncode Technologies. So that is our company name, but the brand name and trademark name is Dhobiji. So you should have clear vision what your brand is and what your company is. So Dhobiji clearly says that this is the laundry service related service, if you know the word Dhobi. But why we have kept our technical name Syncode Technologies? Because at the end, we are not doing laundry. We are not washing clothes. We are a technical company, or if you say technical with the logistic support company who provides logistic using the technology. So now there are trend, edtech, fintech. So if you call us, we are LogTech, logistic technology company. So that's what we are looking for. We are providing an option to book and find a laundry nearby you. So we are a LogTech company. So we are a tech company. So we kept the company name as a technical company. And what now we are doing in that company, we have one brand is Dhobiji. Just to give you insight, we have a R&D team now who are working on different part of the different product, and very soon we are going to file 2 or 3 patent for the product. Now our company Syncode Technology is going to even enter into the product field. So using the IoT, AI, and big data, all these technologies, we have our team is making a product it's 90% success and 10% still it's under process. And let's hope that we are going to make it as soon as possible. And 2 or 3 products are under pipeline. And I was about to tell you that now, even you start as a company, service company or anything, research and development is what is going to keep you into the trend and keep you into the competitions. If you do not research, if you do not develop a new product, you are going to be old. And people like improvement. If you see the WhatsApp, you have seen that before it was only a texting platform where you can just text a message. Later it have option, it added an option of calling, audio calling. There was no video calling. Later again they added a video calling. So they did a research, they made a product. WhatsApp is a product. So similarly, and later on they have added a status option also. Now they are adding payment. I'm not sure they have a good idea of adding payment, but if you ask me, if you are already a loyal customer of Paytm, you will not slip into the payment. But WhatsApp for communicating, WhatsApp is for the communicating. So the more improvement they did on the communicating part, making it easy for you, whether it's calling, video calling, or texting. So they made it easy for you. Similarly, you have to be in the market, and now we are seeing Startup India, Made in India, like Self-Dependent India. Atmanirbhar Bharat, you say it. So all these things cannot be done without R&D. You need to do R&D. You need to find out the product level things also. The business, the service business is important, but to be successful in the future, how many of you know about the Tesla or SpaceX? You can write on the in the message like yes, I know. In recent, they have registered in the website Tesla in India. They have registered in Bangalore. They have registered a company. They are going to launch a car in the India. But how many of you know Tesla? Tell me that. Okay, I guess you know. If not, then Apple. So every one of you have some ideas about Tesla and Apple. The key thing why they are a top-notch company in their field is their strategy, their research and development. They make new product. They do not just copy out from the market and make that. So this is what is like. You need to do research. You need to find out the latest product trends, what is going to be in the market, find out what you can do, and then you go for patent, trademark, and design registrations. And later then you find out the funding. Like initial, if you register a company, they ask for you what is the funding source, how much you are going to fund your company, whether you are going to self-financed or you are going to for that, anything. Third, if you have employment and labor, there is a self-satisfaction certification under employment and labor laws. So you have to you have to make a clarification, write it on a paper and submit it to the government. And then you get a tax exemption. As I said, if you are registered under Startup India, there are many benefits you are going to get. You can get the loan at a very low interest. You can get like you don't need to submit anything for getting loan. Just a Startup India certificate is enough for that. There are many rules beside that. But yes, the things get easier. You are going to make things very easy and you will be very easily able to do that. Now, who can register a startup in India? Like, who can register in a Startup India? As I said, like there is a Startup India program from the government. So, if you have registered, incorporated your company as a private limited company or partnership firm or limited liability partnership. So there are these three companies eligible for getting registered into the Startup India campaign organized by the government, and you can get those benefits which is given to the Startup India. And these benefits can be easily learned with the help of Google. Go and Google it. What are the benefits you are going to get to learn what is Startup India program and different things. So go and get it done. And now if you tell me the private limited company, partnership firm, limited liability partnership. So these are the keywords, like you must be wondering what are these and why do I need to get this. So this is the categories the government is offering you to register them. The first step I said, incorporation with the government. So in any of these categories you need to mention. Then you will come and ask me what are these categories, which one I should select. So basically partnership firm is not selected by the much people. Most two important part which I am going to discuss will be the private limited company and limited liability company. So partnership, these are the two options which is going to be the most important part. First thing, which act? Now you can go and learn in different platforms about this act, because there are a lot of rules and regulations in different things. But if you ask me on like a rough idea which act is there, so to register a private limited company, you need to follow the act of 2013, Companies Act. And to register a limited liability partnership, so you have an LLP Act 2008. So this is what is there. And minimum share capital. So they will ask for how much investment you are going to do. So now, before it was there that you need to have a minimum share capital in the private limited company, but now there is no requirement of minimum share capital. You can start with the registering with the zero capital invested in that. And in the same thing is there in the LLP. If you say like member required, if you are private limited company, the owners, I'm talking about a member, that means owners, not the employee. The person who all are there as a director or sayers. So what is that? 2 persons should be at least required in both. Because if it is a partnership, that means it is between 2 persons minimum. Even if you are a private limited company, you cannot alone register your company. So you need a co-founder who can invest or who can work with you to get registered in private limited company. You need 2 people. Now there comes a director required. So every company, if you know that there is a director in the company, so they may not be the CEO, they may not be any people who is working in the company. They just invested in the company and part of the company as a director. So there is a different thing. So minimum 2 directors is required. They can be part of the organization who under the working category, like they can be CEO, CFO, CMO, any position they can hire, and they cannot have, even they are just as a director in the company. So they do not have any direct work in the company, they are just in the one position, that is director. So minimum 2 is required and maximum 15. So you know, we call it board of director. So this is what is board of director. This is the representative in the making of any final decision in the company. Directors are the person. Normally CEO and different field, CXO we call it. Any put X with the E, technical or anything, CEO or anything. So this is what is. So minimum 2 persons is required in the director and 2 designated partner. Maximum not applicable in the LLP. So you need 2 dedicated partners only. There is no director post or anything in the LLP. So you need 2 partners and you can register it. You can start it. And now comes the part of board meeting. As I said, there is a board member. So they should sit within 120 days meeting, and minimum 4 meetings should be held in a year. So these board people should see how the company is running, how these all things are there, and there should be the minutes of the meeting held, and that should be given to the government, that our board members set and they have decided this, and this was our status of the company, and submitted to the government. But in LLP, you don't need to do all these things. And now audits are mandatory in private limited company. And if you talk about the LLP, it's not compulsory. If you exceed 25 lakhs or annual turnover of 40 lakhs. Like one person is paying, investing 25 lakhs, that is contribution of a partner. If he is not paying, if your investment is less than 25 lakh each person, that means if you are 2 persons, your investment should be less than 50 lakhs, and total each person should also have less than 25 lakhs. If one person is investing 40 lakh, another person is investing 10 lakh, in that situation, you need to go through the audits. So this is, and if you have invested even 10 lakh, but your turnover exceeds 40 lakh, that means you need to go through the audit. And the annual filing. So the annual filing, the account and the return should be filed with the ROC, as you know, in the private limited company. And these are same in both, and there is just a difference between the act and different things, but you need to file in both the things. So this is one difference. Now compliances. So compliances are high in the private limited company and less in the LLP. And let's not talk about this at this moment, because once you have idea of starting up, you'll already you will go through the some legal team where they will tell you much in detail about that, because if I do that right now, it's going to be very boring. But yeah, liability, there is limited in both. Transferability of share. See, this is where the normally people preferred private limited company over the LLP. Because if you are looking for an investment, it is very tough process for LLP to get one investor and give him some share or transfer some share. But in LLP, in private limited company, it's easy. So the people who are looking for investment, they go for a private limited company. And if those who are sure that for rest 1 year, we are not looking for any LLP, any investment or anything, we can be self-survive, as we were there for around 2 and 3 years. So for first 2 years, we were LLP. We are not looking for any external funding. So we were into the LLP, and later on we converted into the private limited company. So this is what you should be very sure. If you are going to get more investors onboarded with the time passing, make sure you are a private limited company. The process will be smooth for you. If you are sure, no, this we are two people who is going to hold the share. Sorry. So then do not go for the private limited, go for the LLP. Okay, and in like there is an option FDI, you say. So getting investment, you need to go through the automatic route. There is a route financed, and even if there is a limitations and you cross that limitation for the investment, you need to get the government approval. Usually government give these approvals. Nowadays, government also want FDI, so they want investment from outside. So they really do give the permission to get the FDI easily. But there is a still automatic process also, which have limitations. And if you follow that limitations, you do not need to go get a government approval directly. So you need to just get through that. There is no ministry involved in that process. And if you talk about LLP, there are certain limitations, and get it through the automatic route with the limitations. And as I said, suitable for which type of people? As I said, if you are looking for external funding, it's written in there also, business having a turnover, entrepreneur who need external funding. Why turnover? Because it's the expensive part. You have to get an audit done, you have to invest in that, and there are a lot of expenses there involved. If you are earning, then only you should go for this. This is why I said, do not proceed until you start earning. So company registration should be done only once you start earning. Or if you want a safe side, go with the LLP. Registered with the LLP, start earning, later on convert it into the private limited company. And normally manufacturers like small scale business do prefer LLP type, because they do not want overhead expenses of all this type of things, audit and all. So they do with this one. And company name, as you know, this both have like I already said, private limited company, and that fees and cost. So different fee and cost, different agency have different. Now in a startup India government, private limited company is also getting registered in 5 to 7K. The 5K is the government fee, and the firm you are hiring to get it registered will take you around 2 to 3K. So minimum, if you ask me, in 7K you can get a private limited company registered. But when we were there, we were looking for registrations. At that time, the fee was around 15K from the government side. So now the registration cost is also decreased. And if you talk about the LLP is having really less charge. In 5 or 7K, you can get all the things done. And the time and procedure for the government, private limited company is going to be much needed, because you need to register as a dean, DSC digital signature, and there are a lot of process required. But for LLP, it's the bond between you and your partner, and it is submitted to the government that these two people are looking to do business together on this name. And within 1 week, or maximum within, like normally we get it in 2 to 3 days, but maximum it is going to take 1 week for you guys to get it registered. So, but in the startup, it can take up to 30 days. with all the process. Startup doesn't mean private limited company. If you are looking for that. So there is a time frame for both. If you are in hurry, get the LLP done. Later on, you need to convert into the private. This can be converted. And advantage, as I said, I've already mentioned all the advantage and all. Still, here is the point. If you say an LLP, easier to start, manage and process, has fewer formalities, as I said earlier. It is less cost, like the registration cost is low. Like it's the existence of the corporate body. So there is like you can say I'm a company. You can prove yourself as a company with this registration, even without an extra head cost. Any amount of capital, as I said, there is no minimum amount of capital required in LLP. Now, before in private limited, there was an amount limit requirement, but now government have changed it and made it easy for the startups to register. So they have removed the capital requirement in the private limited company also. And the most important part is the liabilities. Like here in private limited company, the company is considered as an individual. But in the LLP, both the person is considered as an individual, as a company. So the two founders in the LLP are the company. If you say me, Dhobiji, then if it is a LLP, I, Ankur, and Daksh are the company. If we do anything wrong in our personal life also, that means it is going to harm my company also. But when it is private limited company, if I am doing anything wrong in my personal life, company is not going to get affected much. The Daksh and Ankur can run the company and there will be no legal action against the company. It will be only against me and the company will run smoothly. Like if you see the example, very good example is Kingfisher. The Vijay Mallya is flown away from the India, but still Kingfisher is present in the market. It's running. Why? Because the brand Kingfisher was a private limited company. Vijay Mallya was one of the investor and the founding member. His father was the founding member, but he was the owner, if I say. This happens. There is a legal case against the Vijay Mallya, but the Kingfisher is working as normal as it was. Similarly, the brand in the private limited have this advantage. If any one of your co-founder is having been caught in any illegal activity, your brand is not going to get affected. But in LLP, it's going to get affected. And as I said, this is considered as a separate legal entity, but LLP is not considered. So this is what? So this is what it is written. It is a different person, as I said. This is considered to be a different person. Different person from the member who compose it. So I and Ankur is not Dhobiji in a private limited company. I, Ankur and Daksh is Ankur, Daksh and Ravi, but Dhobiji is an individual. I may be there in the company in future. I may not be there. Like you know, many of you have been knowing that Steve Jobs was thrown away from the Apple and Apple was still running. But if you would have been a private limited and limited liability partnership company, nobody could have thrown him very easily. There is no other ways throwing him out. So this is what is like major difference between this. So the company is, that's why people prefer private limited company. But I will again say, if you do not earn and you are looking for the registration, at least I need anything registration, go for LLP. If you have started earning and you know, you are very sure that you can manage this all cost, audit cost and everything, on a rough idea, if I say minimum expense will be 35,000 to 40,000 rupees on a private limited company. And if you are not earning, investing for this from your pocket is not worth it. So start earning, make sure that you earn 35,000 as a profit so that you can manage this thing at least. So otherwise go for the LLP and get it converted when you think you are ready to take investment and all this process. And yeah, how to register a private limited company, because this is the most preferred by the different people. So the first step is getting a digital signature. You have to get a digital signature, obtain a DIN. So digital signature is the signature in form of digital things through which you can verify and sign any document using your laptop. Am I audible now? Okay.
Yes.
So digital signature is something like, as I said, if you sign that, and if I have software, I can verify that this is originated from the person which is said. Like if someone is sending, now if I take example, like SRM was having one issue. I've seen that post in the social media by the SRM. There are fake things getting distributed on name of SRM, for like that you need to have this and that to join college and all. This fake information is getting distributed in restaurants, and there is a fake information getting distributed, and you are not sure whether these are right or not. But this digital signature removes that chance. You can verify whether this is from the official as the authority of SRM or not. Similarly, this is what is digital signature. Once you obtain that, using that signature, you apply for director identification number. That is called DIN. So that is your registration with the government of MCI. So Ministry of Corporation India. So once you register yourself in the Ministry of Government Ministry, so they gave you that Ravi Ranjan with this ID is one person who can be director of any company, and we have all the data related to him, and he is the person. He is not having any legal case or anything due to which he is banned from being part of any company. So this DIN gives you the clarification, and using this DIN, you can find out about any person in how many company he is part of. If he is a director of any company, this number will give you the details of that person. And so within this is the my Aadhaar card as a director, if you call it. And the third step is name availability. Check the name availability of the like company, as I said, if it is available or not. If it is available, go and file up the form. These are the form name: Spice INC 32, MONAO. And if you are getting all this thing done, later on you have to apply for 10 and 10 applications. All this thing done, that means your company is registered and you have already started. I hope before going this process, you have started earning money. So by the financial and operation part, you have a product ready. Once it is ready, you go for a trademark or a different registration, whatever is required. Get it patented, design patented. This is the first step. I'll summarize the things. Once you have a product ready, get the patent done, or the like trademark should be done. Later, go into the market with that trademark and patent, launch into the market, sell it. If you want something in your hand as a company, then get a private limited, get a LLP registered. And if you are selling it without registration also, for a certain amount, there is no issues. There is no legal activity is going to be taken against you. If you have until I say like around 10 lakh income, if I say, if you are earning 10 lakh a year, nobody is going to call you much. And but if your partner want a satisfaction, no, later on he do not give me anything wrong or anything. If you want a proper detailed signed deal with the partner, that person who is with you, get a LLP registered. When you are ready and when you are earning and ready to take investment from the external firm or external party, get the private limited company registered or converted from LLP to a private limited company. Get all these things done, and now you are legally as well as financially operating in the company. Now you are a startup which can run for 10 years from this registration day of private limited or LLP. The moment you register LLP, from that day itself, your year start counting. So from this day you are the person, you are getting counted, and until 10 years, or if you have less than 100 crore revenue, you are part of a Startup India campaign, and you will be getting many benefits, comprising GST and different things. There are many benefits given by the government. You can go and search it all on the Google, because Google knows everything even better than me. So Google is going to be the most beneficial part. And that's it from my side. Thank you so much. I have taken 3 minutes extra, but yeah, I hope you liked the session, and do comment questions if you have, or else we'll finish.
Yes, any students, you have any doubts? Anything you want to ask from Ravi Ranjan, Ankush, or Daksh? Either you can ask or you can post it in the chat box. Welcome. So, in which year you have started this?
Yeah, we'll finish it once. Okay. So if you have a query, you can ask me right now, or else, if ma'am, like if you want to finish the session, we can finish it. I'm done from my side.
Yeah. Anybody?
Or even if you have later any questions or any suggestions, I'm writing down my mail ID here in the message. You can keep it. If you are not able to ask it here, you can mail me on my mail ID. If I find time and if I see the message, for sure I am going to reply you. I have typed my mail ID on the message. You can keep it for your help if you want. Or if you can ask now, you can ask me.
You have a
Yeah,
message.
ma'am, like you asked in which year we started. So, ma'am, it started in 2016
Yeah.
when our batch started. So, like just it was past 2 months when we got and in September of month we started about this.
Oh, yeah. When did you register?
So
Uh,
LLP was registered in early days only, ma'am. And like
Okay.
once we were about to launch in the market, because we have already faced the issue. I have told you the story. So we registered after that. But
Okay.
the private limited was done after 1.5 years.
1.5 years. Okay. Okay.
And the one person has asked me question related to barelog.in. Is a startup from the SRM, as I also know, like I came to know, but it's not under Dhobiji, but the founder knows me, and if he's having any issue, he contacts me, and we are in contact. But he's a different entity, and I wish all the best for his startup. And yeah,
Okay.
he's not under the Dhobiji.
Okay. Okay. Any other doubts? So if not, we can wind up the session. I really
okay.
thank Ravi Ranjan, Ankur, and Daksh for joining for this session. I think the title perfectly matches with you people. On
Okay.
the other hand, you're the right people to give the session for this title. Yes. So I should thank Lisa ma'am for suggesting you people, because I don't know about your team. So thank you for giving
Okay.
this session and an insight about how a startup could be and what are the legal procedures. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thanks a
And
lot,
this,
ma'am.
yeah, and I'd like to thank the SRM, that the SRM is really taking initiative. I've been into one more of the event, and IIC, the Innovation Center.
Yeah.
This all, I'm really happy that there is a startup culture growing in the SRM, and
Yes.
like
Yes.
I feel very happy that every way in other support they are supporting, and now it's apart from the students. I request from everyone, do whatever you like to do. It's not that everyone should do the startup, but if you have some great ideas, contact your teacher, contact us if you have any query related to a startup or anything. We are here to help you. Your teacher are there to help you. But we look forward that from our campus, especially from Ramapuram, there have been the startups being successful from the different campus. But what we look that people from our campus should come up with different companies so that I can tell that yeah, there are many companies from my college itself. So I wish all the very best for all the students, and I hope you do a very good startup journey if you join. And I would like to thank SRM also for giving opportunity to the students now, and this is really happy that moment for us. There's an environment growing in the SRM also, and in the especially while in the college, if people is getting this environment, this is really good time to get into the startup because you have 4 years to learn and fail. Nobody is going to ask you any question why you are not earning. So these 4 years you can experiment with all the different things, and college is there to support you. So no need to worry, and thank you so much for inviting us and helping our juniors. We always love to talk with the people who want to learn and who want to grow. So thank you so much, ma'am, for providing us opportunity, and also Dean sir for organizing this event. Thank you so much.
Really, Ravi Ranjan, we also should thank you that we need to have this spiritual people to support the entrepreneurship and how your success makes them to think about these ideas. Yes. So if you are going for only a placement, you will go for only your path. Once you become an entrepreneur, you are now giving the options for many people. Yes, your employees.
Yes, ma'am. Like if you see like many of our classmates were like looking for a placement in last year. In that year itself, when my classmates were looking for a job, me and my team has given job from the VIT Vellore campus student. That too, not only from BTech, from the MTech student also, and in our campus also we have given job to our classmate also.
Yes.
So this is what like you can help your friend. This is not I'm saying that I have done something great. I'm just saying that I help my friend to get his job. I've given opportunity, contributed into the economy of our India. So each one of you, we can have like if I could have went for the job, I could have got one good package, but that could have only helped me.
Yeah.
But if I'm able to help more people, right now we have completed our recruitment session in SRM. We have selected 50 students. So if we are able to give job to that 50 students, that means we are helping 50 family.
Yeah.
So this is why entrepreneurs should come up and So we want people like as I've seen that the people are aware about the different startup which is happening in the SRM Bade Log, and this all we want you all to support them to grow, as well as if you have some ideas, support each other and grow. This is what I will say always.
So yeah, ma'am, I would like to add that while we were in the very first years of our startup, like everybody was hustling for the team and everybody was there to get into the big companies. And at that time, we decided that when we will be going into the final years, we will be going to give placements and not take placements during the time. So best thing to learn is to do that particular thing. Otherwise, you will be studying only the books, but you can apply them in real life. So best thing is to do a startup to learn it from the depth.
Yes, of course. So thanks a lot for joining with us. Yes. So thank you, students. Thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
I'm leaving now.
Yeah, we can leave. Thank you all.
Thank you.